What is going on, guys? Back up here, the tech guy here. Today I'm going to be talking about something that doesn't usually get talked a lot about on YouTube, especially when it comes to camera gear in general. I do apologize if you can't hear the fan in the background. It does tend to get a little bit hot in my room, and I don't want to open up the windows because it's still kind of wintertime-ish here in Alaska. So in this video, I'm going to talk about why you should consider used camera gear and why it's not a bad option. So how's it going, guys? Back up here, the tech guy here. So in my hand here is a Sony ZV-E10. The difference between this one versus one you buy from B&H, Best Buy, or anything online is that I actually got this off of eBay used for around $500. If you look at other various websites such as B&H or Amazon, even used, it's kind of hard to find a camera like this at around $500. So I was really surprised that the guy who was selling on eBay, why he was selling it for so cheap. And everywhere else, like I said, I looked at online for a used body, just the body alone, was usually around the $600 range, give or take, depending on how used or how new the camera was. But the guy was labeling this as used, but good. $400, $500, I figured, that's about $100+ cheaper than buying it used from anyone else. So I took the shot, I took a look at it, pulled the trigger, and I bought it. Now, normally I won't usually buy or use electronics, at least when it comes to camera gear, because I don't really know how people take care of their gear. I take really good care of my stuff, so if I were to ever sell it, I actually would trade it in for credit and let whoever I'm trading it in, let them do the evaluation of that. But I generally myself am not really, I really prefer to just not buy brand new. But I didn't really want to buy another camera brand new because I already have my FX30. I just wanted another camera in case I didn't feel like one to use my FX30, and I already had the A6400 from Sony, and I really want to stick within the Sony lineup. The ZV-10 was a perfect fit. Obviously, the A6700 was out also, but that's a brand new camera. I didn't really want to buy another one of those. So the ZV-10, with its smaller body size, usually would work perfectly fine for me. So when I bought it, got it delivered, looked it over, and it was kind of weird because the guy labeled it as used but good, and really it looked more like he should have labeled it as used but brand new, because it practically looks like the guy never really used it at all. He might have done a few videos and a few shots with it, but beyond that, it looked practically brand new. So I was really surprised. Now, with that being said, buying this, there's a website that I'll drop down below that you can use when it comes to buying used camera gears, and this really depends on a vendor-to-vendor person, especially if you're buying it from eBay. I'm not talking about Amazon, B&H, and all that. Specifically talking about if you're looking for deals on eBay. What you can do, and I'm not sure if all vendors will do this. I never thought about this when I bought this because I've never bought anything like this on eBay before, or just used in general. So what this program does is called Picture Information Extractor, PIE, PI. And what this does is it allows you to take a photo that you shoot on a camera, and it on the side, how the program works is there's a website that tells you in terms of how new or how old the camera is in terms of shutter life, in terms of how many pictures you have left with that camera. So I mean, this is something new to me, so if I'm explaining this a little bit whacked, I do apologize, but I will have a link down below, and there's a video that I was watching that will kind of explain it a little bit better. But when I got this camera, when I first heard about that, and this is like a month after I'd already bought it, I actually downloaded the program, and I uploaded a photo, took a quick photo, and uploaded it, and then compared it to what it said in terms of what the shutter speed should be into the shutter count versus what the camera is. And at least for the Sony one, for the ZV-10, anything from like 0 to like 10,000, this camera was still practically brand new. So when I uploaded a photo for this, just to see what the shutter count is in terms of how many times it's been used and how much life was left in the camera, this thing barely reached 1,000. I think it was like 994 pictures taken off this camera. So compare that in terms of the Sony cameras, in terms of where it's sitting. Was it a good camera? Is it been well used, or was it almost on its way out and I just bought a lemon? This camera was barely, it was still brand new. It had less than 1,000 shots on the camera, so it was still considered new. So again, like I said, I'm still new to how that works with camera gear in terms of just cameras, but it is something that you might want to take a look at when you're looking at used cameras on the eBay website. And again, like I said, it's going to be different when it comes to buying used on, say, Aerodroma or B&H or KEF because they're going to be the ones doing all that for you, and then they're going to price it appropriately to where they think the price should be. So this is specifically if you're looking at it from an eBay point of view and you want to save money on eBay, you can usually just ask the vendor, can they take a picture and then send you the picture, and then you can just use this program and it will tell you in terms of shutter where that camera fits. Is it a good deal? Is it not a good deal? Maybe you can negotiate for a little bit less. But it's just one of those things that you just want to be careful when you're not buying something that you think is a good deal, that you paid what you thought was a good deal for the camera, and then finding out it's just kind of like you just got a lemon, you just got hosed, and you're stuck with it. Now, eBay is doing better in terms of their money back guarantees. So usually what happens is that you will just talk to the vendor, say, hey, this isn't working, I want to return this. And usually it's back and forth. And then usually once this thing gets resolved, then you kind of have to go through eBay to kind of fix that. And then usually that just takes forever. Now eBay is actually getting a lot better at it. They do have their money guarantee. So if for any reason something happens to this, or you're not completely satisfied with the purchase, you can either talk to the vendor or go directly through eBay. eBay will talk to the vendor, and then you just send it to eBay. You'll get your money back, and then it's just whatever eBay is with the vendor. So I'm glad that they are starting to actually wise up more when it comes to that, and they're starting to be a little bit more like Amazon when it comes to returns on products. Now, again, that being said, you still want to make sure that whatever you're buying is a good deal. And you can get deals when it comes to just not only just cameras, but even camera lenses. So say you're looking to buy a good camera, but you want to spend less than $1,000 for both a camera and a lens. This right here is about a $500 camera body on its own. Now they are a little bit more pricier depending on what comes with the camera, but I got this for around $500. You can also score a Sigma 16mm lens, and I saw this on B&H. This is like a $300 some odd lens used on their website. That paired with the A64 or with the ZV-E10, you've got yourself a good vlogging combo that should last you for as long as you need it to, paired with a good pair of wireless audio devices, audio mics, and you're good to go. And then you can still save money while still making great content on your YouTube channel. Now, with that being said, you can buy a lot of good used gear. Some things is worth the money, some things it's not. So for like wireless microphones, I'm using the Hollyland Lark Maxes. These are $250 wireless microphones. They do have another cheaper alternative to the Hollyland Larks, and that's going to be the M1s, which is what I have here. These are my Hollyland M1 Lark, or the M1s. Now, when I bought these, I bought it with just the transmitter and the receiver, and this was about $60. Came with everything that I needed. Came with a nice little carrying pouch and all of that. But if I want to buy it with the charging case, because I live in Alaska, they just won't ship it to me. So I just have to go through Hollyland to buy this. But if you're living, if you're not living in Alaska, they do have these, which you can buy it with the receiver and the charging case, and they're usually around $120 for this, and that's actually a pretty good deal for these. Now you also have the alternatives like the Rode Wireless Go's, and then you have DJIs, as well as Small Rigs and Deities. So there's a few brands out there that give you really good quality. Like I said, you're looking to try and save money. You're not trying to blow out you're not trying to just go all out just starting YouTube, because then now you have all this expensive gear, and now you're worrying about other things aside from this gear. So buying used gear will help you still get the level of quality that you can get out of your videos without having to spend a lot of money on camera gears. It's one thing to want video quality like an FX30, but then trying to buy it used, you're still spending a lot of money, and that's assuming you're buying it with the lens. But otherwise, buying the FX30 with the lens, even used, is still going to cost you around $2,000, which is a lot to be spending, especially if you're just starting YouTube and you have, say, 400 subscribers or 500 subscribers. Usually you want to get the best quality that you can get without spending, a max amount of money. So buying used is the best way of doing it. You just kind of have to be smart in how you do it. Now, again, I have links down below for some good used cameras, and you can take a look at some of these. And this is just stuff that I've seen and watched on YouTube that people have recommended to other content creators that are good, just starter cameras. Nothing stupidly expensive like the FX30 or the A6700, but just decently priced ones. And if you want to take a look at some decently priced lenses, I'll have some pretty decently good used lenses there, whether they're the Sigma ones or the Sony ones. But there are a lot of good lenses out there, just the ones that I'm using in particular, like the Sony 11mm f1.8, the 15mm, as well as the Sigma. But the 15mm G lens is a little pricey. So what I'll do is I'll drop a link down below for the 11mm f1.8 as well as for the Sigma, and I'll also drop a link down below if you want to see the quality of both lenses, because I did do videos on both of those as well. Otherwise, I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you're new to my channel, if this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, as these likes do help me create better content. And if you're new to my channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button and hitting that bell notification. That way you don't miss content when I drop it. And I will be dropping a video down later comparing between the 15mm Sony and the Sigma 60mm, and just to see a comparison between the two so you can decide, should you spend more money for the 15mm G lens or save your money and buy the Sigma 16mm f1.4. So stay tuned for that video. Again, Black Appeal the Tech Guy. See you guys in the next video. Enjoy your week.